Plato's Allegory of the Cave is a metaphor that makes us reflect on various aspects of human reason. In this video, I'll tell the story of this myth and also talk a little about its meanings. So get comfortable and come along with me. Hey everyone, how's it going? My name is Paolo and welcome to Jo Illustrata. Today we have a slightly different topic on the channel, talking about philosophy. And the chosen topic is the Allegory of the Cave, or the Myth of the Cave, by the great philosopher Plato. The video is divided into two parts. In the first part, I will narrate the allegory, and in the second, I will explain a bit of its meanings. So I need you to stay with me until the end of the video to really understand it, all right? So let's get started. The Myth of the Cave, or the Allegory of the Cave, is a narrative story. It was addressed by Plato in his book, The Republic, presenting a dialogue between Glaucon and Socrates, and it invites us to reflect on various aspects of human knowledge. However, we will discuss this more towards the end of the video. Imagine a cave separated from the outside world by a high wall, with an entrance that allows the passage of outside light. Now imagine that inside this cave, there are some human beings living. Generation after generation, they live there in chains. They can't turn their heads toward the entrance or move around. They are always forced to look only at the wall, from the back, never having seen the outside world or the sunlight. Now imagine that above the wall, a light coming from outside, caused by a fire, illuminates the inside of the cave, making everything that happens outside be projected inside as shadows. Outside, people walk by, talking and carrying on their shoulders figures of men, women, and animals. These people and these objects cast shadows inside the cave. The prisoners, in turn, believe that these shadows are the actual external things. In other words, the living beings that exist outside the cave. One day, one of the prisoners, driven by curiosity, decides to escape from the cave. He makes a tool, manages to break the chain, and escapes from the cave. When he gets outside, at first he is completely blinded by the brightness of the sun because his eyes were only used to the darkness of the cave. However, little by little, he gets used to the light and starts to see the world normally. He immediately realizes that everything he had experienced inside the cave was nothing but an illusion. They were just shadows. They did not reflect the true reality of the outside world. Realizing this, he decides to return to the cave to warn his companions about the true reality of the outside world. However, this return will not be easy at all because he will need to get used to the darkness again, which is much harder than getting used to the light. Furthermore, when he warns the other people living in the cave about the true reality of the outside world, he will be discredited and may even risk being killed by those people who never left the cave. So basically, this is Plato's Allegory of the Cave. As you may have noticed, it is full of metaphors. So in this second part of the video, I will explain to you what they mean. But before that, if you're enjoying the video, show some support, leave a like, because that helps a lot. Subscribe to the channel if you like the content, and leave a comment saying what you liked and also what you didn't like. Why not? I reply to all of them. Also, follow us on our social media because the content there is really cool too. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. So let's get to the end of the video. Within this allegory, the cave, according to Plato, is the world we live in. The ray of light that casts the shadows on the wall is a reflection of the true light. That is, the ideas, true knowledge, philosophy. The prisoners obviously are us, human beings. The shadows are all the things we take as truth, common sense. In other words, all the mistaken knowledge we acquire throughout life through our senses. The tool used to break the chains is dialectics. In other words, ideas, knowledge, the exchange of ideas, the search for truth. The curious young man who escapes is the philosopher, and the return to the cave is the philosophical dialogue. Basically, the allegory of the cave is a metaphor created by Plato in an attempt to explain the condition of ignorance in which human beings live, imprisoned by the senses and by prejudices that prevent us from knowing the truth. So let me know in the comments what you think, all right? If you liked it, if you didn't like it, leave a like as well to support the channel. That really helps a lot. Before I finish, I need to say that a good part of the narrative I presented in this video was taken from the text of the great Brazilian philosopher named Marilena Chauí. I'm leaving the link here in the description of this and all the other references I used to make this video. So that's it. Thanks. See you next time. Bye.